platform where we speak truth to power. Let me just quickly do something while I'm doing this. I'm just trying to check one or two things as I talk to you. So, good morning. I want to make sure everything is in the right frame. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Season Wire, the platform where we speak truth to power. We're back again. We'll do as much broadcast as we can to raise the level of awareness about the need for us to become active participants in our governance. I'm going to read to you section 42A and 42C. Um, these are powers that we collectively possess as citizens over our governance, and we can use those powers. That is the only option. It's not even about protest now. It's about stating those powers and using those powers. So section 14(2) states sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. 14(2)(a) and 14(2)(c). The participation by the people in the government shall be in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. Now, these are two important information that we must use right now to hold our governance to account. We must begin to get our government to become accountable to us. We need those refineries to be fixed immediately. The refineries must be fixed, and we must urge them to fix it as quickly as possible. So that's what we are on this platform to do, to encourage us all to wake up. It's not just about talking about, oh, there's a problem. It's about coming up with solutions. What solutions do you propose to solve the problem we face? Our people are suffering. The price of petrol has been pushed up by those in government. They are spending. Get this: the government is giving. They are giving themselves and their cronies 110 billion naira, 70 billion for accommodation and whatever else, and then 40 billion for buying cars for 468 468 House of Reps and Senators. We must use the powers I quoted at the beginning, i.e., Section 42A. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. We must use those powers to begin to hold them to account. And we use it through the participation. The participation by the people in the government shall be in accordance with the provision of this constitution. We need to compel the government to fill our refineries. Do you know that if they use that money, the 40 billion, 110 billion, I am sure that it could be used to refit. It could be used to refit the refineries. Why don't they use that money to fix our refineries? Why are they, instead of buying those things, they should fix the refineries. When they refix the refineries, the price can go down and we can be able to buy it. It will make the lives of our people easier. That's what I think. I don't know what your thoughts are. I don't know how you see this. But this is what I think we should do. We should be one kind. This is what I think we should do. We should be using those powers. We should be using those powers to actually get our government to fix. We should compel them, and we do that by having town hall meetings, by getting town hall meetings in all local government areas with the councillors, local government chairman, state House of Assembly members, House of Reps, and senators. Tell them this is the most important information that we want you, the thing you want you to do right now, which is to fix our refineries. That must be our priority, and we need to begin to fix that as a matter as a matter of urgency. I really think that enough is enough. I really think that we must no longer accept any excuses from the people. They have oppressed us and suppressed us in our own land. They have impoverished us deliberately, and we must take control. We need to collectively take control. Again, if you're watching this is Newa, the platform of Power. Help us share this podcast. The information that we have here is to try and let you know that you possess powers that for over 24 years that you are not aware of. And those powers are contained in section 14.2a and 14.2c of the Nigerian Constitution. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. The government derives its powers and authority from you. Thus, you can use those powers to hold them to account. So if they're going to spend money and say, "Oh, we've authorized people to spend 110 billion to give money to their cronies and friends," we have the power. Beg your pardon. We have the power to tell them, to compel them using the constitution that no, we want you to fix our roads. That is what we need to be doing. That is what we are encouraging you all to do. So we need you to be aware of this information. I'm back. I'm still, I'm heading back and I'm trying to talk at the same time. So we need to, please, if you're getting this broadcast, please do share. Endeavor to share the broadcast. You're watching Citizen Wire, the platform where we speak truth to power. Help us grow the platform. We need you to help us reach more people. The information that we're sharing are really important information that will really change lives. Um, I know a lot of people talk about other things that are, you know, that they see as, areas of priority. But I think the best thing we can do for ourselves is to really help um, one another through the process of making us all aware of our constitutional powers. These two constitutional powers are very important. Firstly, we are the sovereigns from whom the government, through the constitution, derives the power and authority. And as a sovereign, we have the right to participate in our governance as stated under Section 14.2c, and we need to use those powers. As we speak now, the lives of the people are being made very difficult. Again, I repeat, why can't we use the 110 billion naira to fix the refineries? Those monies could be used to fix our refineries, you know, and this is really quite sad that our governance would prefer to spend money to keep people impoverished, to keep our people impoverished, to keep them, you know, impoverished and in poverty. And we have the resources. A nation that has the third largest is the third largest oil producing country does not have one single refinery. That is sad. That is why we come on the broadcast and we are urging you. Please share the broadcast. Help us reach more people. I'm going to come on and do a live broadcast again on, when I get the minute properly. But I do this on the go because it's important that we get this information out to reach as many people as possible. We've been talking about this for some time now. The constitution and all of that stuff, and the fact that the governance, we all know that it's a flawed constitution. Nonetheless, we must make sure that we use the powers within it that we can use to empower we, the people, to begin to hold our government to account. And we need to exercise that power collectively. I know it's gonna sound like a broken record because many of you who have been listening to us would have heard this message. But nonetheless, we want to urge you all. The best thing you can do for us is to subscribe to Citizen Wire, the platform where we speak to power. Go ahead and subscribe, hit the notification button, give us a thumbs up, help us reach more people. Because the information that we are sharing is not being shared by many people. It's not being made available to many people on other platforms. Yes, we can talk about the problems. Yes, we can say, okay, you know what? Yes, this is what's going to happen. Revolution and all of that. But the best revolution that we can do, in my opinion, is the one whereby the revolution of our minds through shared knowledge. This kind of knowledge that will make it very, very important for people to know. Thank you very much. Yes. I'll make it important to know that we have the right to hold our governance to account because it is from us from whom they derive the power and authority. As is stated under Section 42, sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. We need to continue to do that. We need to continue to raise the level of awareness. This information must be shared to all communities. I did a program yesterday where I translated it. We got Bright came on board and we translated the information to in Igbo, section 14.2 and 14.2c, and they translated it and they read it in Igbo out on the platform. Please, I urge you all, if you're watching, make sure you go and share that information among the Igbo people because we need to have that information to make sure that people can take action. So people can take collective action and actually begin to hold the government to account. Nigeria will not, unless we participate in our governance, we must become active participants in our governance as laid down in the Constitution. As sovereigns, we have the power to hold our governance to account, to participate in our governance, to make them accountable to us for everything they do. But we have not so far taking advantage of those powers. And that is where we come in. That is where Citizen AY comes in. And we are trying to make you aware. Good morning, those of you who are watching and who will watch later on. You're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Thank you for the thumbs up. Anybody sharing that, those of you who are just giving a thumb up, thank you so much. And thank you for joining the broadcast. The concerns right now is the fact that people are suffering. There are millions of people who are living in poverty, who do not have access to water, light, roads, schools, health care, and all of those things. And those are the people that we do this for. So we want you all to join us in this struggle. We really need you to help us in getting that information out. We want you to help us share the broadcast. Subscribe to Citizen AY, hit notification button, give a thumbs up. Because the information that we're sharing now, it's not about one person knowing this information. It's about each and every one of us recognizing that the more we stand together collectively in our community, in exercising our sovereignty, which it is stated within the 14.2a Constitution that sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this Constitution, derives all its powers and authority. That is the most important information we need to have. Just over the weekend, um, many people would have gone to churches. Many people would have gone to the mosque. But the churches and the mosque, they do not have the solution to the problem that we face. They have no answers. They have no constitutional powers. They do not have anything in law that gives them any power to assist the citizen in ensuring that the government actually carries out the demands of the people. The only power that we have that we, the citizens, can use lies within that constitution. Yes, we know it's a fraudulent constitution, but this particular two sections that I'm reading to you, 14.2a, sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. That's section 14.2a. 14.2c, the participation by the people in their government shall be in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. Now, those two sections right there, they confer on you all the powers that you need to begin to actively participate in your governance. You see, our role, I've said it before and I'm going to say it, our role as citizens is to become really active in questioning our government on every step of the way, on everything they do. We have the right as sovereigns to hold our government to account, to ensure that they provide answers to our questions and our concerns. And if they start saying anything else and say, no, 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 we don't have, we're not, we don't have any, we don't owe you that, we can quote. I am reading out, I'm saying the words, that's why I say, I read those particular sections off head, because you need to have that information so that off head you can quote it to all of the officials that are in government. You can quote it to them and tell them this is what it says in the constitution, and we need to be doing this collectively within our communities. We have to be doing this collectively within our communities. It is imperative that we begin to do this collectively within our communities. The it is sad to see people. going to the churches and to the mosque and praying to something and trying to receive blessings in the church or in the mosque, when the blessings that you need can be activated through collective action, exercising your constitutional powers as laid down in the Constitution, Section 42. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. That's section 42. You need to memorize that. We've translated it into Yoruba, into Igbo, and we're going to be doing other languages as well. So you can help us in this journey. If you want to, those of us who are abroad, the best way you can help your people back home is to share this information that we're sharing with you, to bring it on board, to really talk about this with our community, with our people. Because without doing that, without doing what I'm saying, nothing will change. Nothing will change. And we are trying to encourage you to take that step, to take that action, to make sure that you now take control of your future and that of your coming generation by exercising the powers you possess within the 1999 Constitution. That Constitution was imposed upon us, but those powers, I have yet to see any of the government officials, nobody in government, they never tell you about these powers. For over 24 years, they know we have those powers, but they have never told us about it. They've kept it away from us. And we are here trying to tell you that you can use those powers, you can use those powers to hold those in government to account. Please, please, please. Thank you very much. Those of you who are watching us, please give us a thumbs up. Share this broadcast. If you can share it to 10 people, 20 people, 30 people, 40 people, 50, 100, 1,000, share the broadcast. Because what we're trying to do is to make sure that we collectively take action from here on and not allow those in government to oppress us. We must break. Thank you very much. All right, thank you. We must, as citizens, collectively begin to hold our governance to account. We have the power to do so. The churches and the mosques will never tell you about those powers. They want you to be dependent on them. And we are here trying to wake you up so that you do not have to wait and our coming generation must not suffer. They must no longer suffer. So, the best thing you can do, how can you help with this information? Is to share this broadcast. Subscribe to Citizen AY, hit the notification button, give us a thumbs up. The more you share the information that we have here, the more it would help our people. These are really important information within the Constitution. And once we start using those powers, we can then begin to improve our lives because we are now participating in our governance. A majority of us now have been conditioned to believe that the government is just a body that's on its own, that doesn't have to have any, that we do not have any control over. Okay. Okay. So, what I am saying to you all is this: we need action now. We need action now. What is the action we need to take right now? We need for the government, if we are going to have any functioning economy, we need the government to fix the refineries. They keep telling us lies. They keep telling us that, oh, there's no money to fix the refinery, but they have money to pay. They have money to pay 110 billion naira to pay for the House of Reps and the senators to have cars. They're going to buy cars for 458 people or more, with the money meant for building, if repairing, in fact, when they can use that money to build infrastructure. I mean, to repair the refinery, which would then mean the price of petrol will go down and people can be able to live lives. This is not governance. We are under a kind of a military, silent military junta. They are all in uniform and they are in civilian uniform, but they are literally oppressing us in our land. So I urge you, as you're watching this podcast, please, please, please join us in the struggle. Don't be a bystander. I've been doing a lot of programs about this. I'm going to make a phone call. I'll be setting up a Zoom link, which I'm going to share. And I want as many people to join us to spread this message. I'm going to bring Bright will be joining me at some point later on, maybe later on today. I'm not quite sure. This maybe even this morning, and we will talk about things at length. Because what we need to do at this point is to bring this information to you, is to make sure that you are aware of the information, is to make sure that we, the citizens, no longer allow ourselves to be oppressed in our own lands. And we don't know this power that we possess. I maintain it. Millions of us, 137 million people, are unaware of the powers that they possess. So, what we're trying to do here is to make you aware that you possess powers that would actually give you roads, water, light, schools, bridges, healthcare, safety, security. These are things that you are entitled to, and you do not have to beg for it. You need to hold your governance to account. And the best way to hold the governance to account is to become active participants in our governance. For example, there is a monthly allocation that is being paid to all local government areas. We start with that. We begin to question them. We start telling them there is a monthly allocation. We want to know where that money has gone. What have you used this for? Who is it got access to it? We need that information because that way we can begin to hold them to account. And I'm urging you all, when you get this broadcast, please share, share, and share. I have been talking about this now for quite a few weeks and a few months, but I don't feel that many people have taken the message on board. But we're going to continue talking about it. The best way you can help us is to subscribe to Citizen NY on YouTube. So far, there's about over 2,600 people who are subscribed to Citizen NY on YouTube. And I want to thank each and every one of you that are subscribed. But what I need you to do in all this episode is to share this information. Because what is coming now, without fixing those refineries, the government will continue to make excuse and import oil, finished processed oil, at an expensive rate to the detriment of all the citizens. So I really want us to begin to look at this. Thank you. To look at this and begin to understand that we possess powers. Thank you. We possess powers that we can use to hold our government to account. We must use those powers. We must exercise those powers. We must make sure that we spread this knowledge across all 774 local government areas. Because without that information, we can't go anywhere. We cannot achieve anything. You cannot have water, light, roads, bridges, healthcare, safety, security in your community. Because the power that you have collectively, and it's important to understand that we use those powers collectively. The powers that we have, when we use it collectively, it will compel those we elect into office, our governance, to do exactly what we wanted to do, which is to ensure that we have infrastructures in our local government area, that they put the infrastructures in place. So please, I urge you, if you're watching this, subscribe to Citizen AY, hit the notification button, give us a thumbs up, help us reach more people. Help us reach more people. Help us grow this platform. These are really important information that we're sharing. Again, I'm going to read this off head, and I want you to go and do the same. Learn it off head. Section 42A. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. Section 42A. 42C. The participation by the people in the government shall be in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. 42C. You need to know this information. Thank you. You need to know this information. You need to share it. Because right now, the longer we have the four refineries not working, the longer we will remain impoverished because they are using it as a way to impoverish our people. This is a really callous governance, a governance that is designed to really oppress you in your own land. And we shouldn't accept it. We should reject it. We should totally reject this kind of governance. How can you play? What role can you play in this? The best thing you can do right now is to share the information I'm sharing with you right now. That's the best thing you can do. Share this broadcast with as many people as you can to begin to wake up our communities. The people who are in the churches and the mosques, they are asleep. They are mentally asleep. The church and the mosque has put our people to sleep mentally, and they are now behaving and operating in a state of inertia, in a state of mind where they don't know the powers they possess, nor do they know how to use those powers they possess. They don't know it. And that is why this program is very, very important. That is why we come with programs like this, so that you can take control of that situation, so that you can become a master of your own ship, so that you can ensure that you do not allow this corrupt and unjust system to continue to oppress you. I am amazed that in 24 years, nobody has talked about these powers. Yes, if you're going to have a protest, you can have a protest. That's fine. You can go and have a protest. You can protest, and go for a protest out. But what we need to do is not about protest now. It is about becoming active participants in our governance. Let us try that first. We've tried the protest. We've tried all of that. Right now, it's the sharing of the knowledge, sharing of that knowledge, particularly in our local languages, for the people to understand that they have the right to hold their government to account, that sovereignty belongs to them. It is from them that the government derives its powers through which it runs the country. So please, those of you watching this, don't forget to share the broadcast, subscribe to Citizen AI, hit the notification button, give us a thumbs up. Help us reach more people. Help us reach more people so that we do not. Sorry, 1 second. Whoops. Sorry about that. You alright? You okay? Yeah, I know you're miles away. Thank you very much. Not a problem. Thank you. So, so what I want you to do is please share this information. Okay? Make sure you share this information. Make sure. Alright. Make sure you share this information because we are trying to save lives. The churches and the mosques, they have poisoned the minds of our people. The churches and the mosques have poisoned the minds of our people. I say this unapologetically. The churches and the mosque, like Fela said, they are there to close your minds, you know, and they are there to make you accept the 49, 60, 99 standing. Every day, my people, they inside church suffering and smile. Every day, my people, they inside must suffering and smile. Then they look, then they wake like cocks suffering and smile. Every day, not the same thing, suffering and smiling. Every day, not the same thing. That is what Fela talked about. They put our minds to sleep all along for 24 years since 1999. We have had powers to hold our governance to account, indeed, to participate in our governance. If you are participating in your governance, they cannot do anything illegal. You are going to be the transparency light that will shine on the government. That is the only way we will get accountability in the system. That is the only way. I'm here to really urge you all. Please share this broadcast. Let it reach as many people as possible. We continue to tell you all that the only solution to the problems we collectively face is our active participation in our own governance on a consistent, relentless basis. That is the only way that will happen. And I urge you, if you're watching this broadcast and you haven't shared the the broadcast, please share. You're watching this Network, the platform where we speak truth to power. It is really important that we take collective action to begin to hold our government to account. I know it sounds daunting, but we've been lied to. We have been lied to. Those in government don't ever want you to know this information that I'm sharing with you. They don't want you to know that you're a sovereign. They don't want you to know that you have powers. The government of the day, they don't want you to know that you possess powers to hold them to account, to compel them to do what you as a sovereign command them to do. They don't want you to know those powers. They want to have the That's why they're telling you, yes, trust the government. And the government is doing it. They're not doing it. The government is giving 8,000 naira. The 8,000 naira the government is trying to give to just 12 million people out of the 137 million people in poverty. That 8,000 naira for 6 months, a month, it's not enough to cook a pot of soup. Did you hear me? That money, the 8,000 naira that they're trying to give, is not enough to cook a pot of soup. You understand? That is why we are saying to you all, please join in this struggle. Help us grow this platform. There's so much work to do to reach a lot of people in our communities. We've already started. I will show you, I've done a broadcast where we translated this constitution, the section 14.2 and 14.2c, into Igbo language. And the people, Igbo people, can listen to those words and share it, because that's what we need to do. We no longer, the churches and the mosques are there to occupy your minds and never allow you to participate in your governance. When you are participating in your governance, you don't need protest. You do not need protest, because you are watching the government as you are mandated to do within that constitution. You are mandated as citizens to participate in your governance by holding them to account, by questioning them, by saying, this is what the constitution says, you need to follow it. And when that doesn't work, and the reason why we have to do that is because it will justify more for those of us wishing to go. When it doesn't work, when the government doesn't comply with what it says, then we are very, very clear in our minds that self-determination is what must happen. So please share the broadcast. Please share the broadcast. You are, of course, watching Citizen Network, the platform where we speak to power. We try to share very important information to, to have a positive impact on our lives. And, and what I'm doing in all of this is to always remind you. You see, I'm not holding the constitution, the book in my hands. I'm reading this off head. I'm reading it off head. Section 1428. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. You need to know that information. We need to teach it to our children in primary school, secondary school, university, adult education. We need everybody, young and old, need to know this information. That is why we are urging you, as you're watching Citizen Network, please share this broadcast. Let it reach as many people as possible. These are important information, because without this information, we cannot have the infrastructure that we need. Because it is in participating in the governance that we begin to hold them to account. They don't want us to participate, but they know that we have the right to participate because it is enshrined in that constitution, and we need to exercise those powers. So I want you all to really please take a minute, listen to the words of 1428. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. 1428. 14.2 the participation by the people in their government shall be in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. And what are the provisions of the constitution? One of them, of course, is the fact that we are sovereign. And as a sovereign, we are exercise those powers to hold our government to account, to ensure that they fix the roads, the water, the light, the schools, the bridges, the healthcare, the safety, the security. We must continue. It is really, really important. Thank you very much. It is really, really important that we become active participants in our governance. That's what has been missing. That is what has been missing. And I'm here to urge you, as you're watching me, don't just think, oh, it's a job for one person. Oh, it's just talking nonsense. Oh, it doesn't make any sense. This is something that will improve our lives. Many were unaware of this information For over 24 years, many people have been unaware of the powers that I'm talking about now and how we can use it. Hi there, many people have been unaware of how we can use these powers. And what I'm trying to get you to do now is to begin to use those powers because it is in using those powers that you can begin to really impact our lives collectively in a positive manner. We will end the brain drain. The best way to end the brain drain going on right now is to become active participants in our governance, begin to hold them to account, begin to get them to really ensure that all our funds, the funds that are the monthly allocation, is used in our local government area. We must start at the local level. Please, there are things I'm going to ask you, two things I'm going to ask you to do. Take a screenshot of the words that I said, section 14.2a and 14.2c. Make sure that you know that of it, memorize it. Make sure that you are a member of a local community association. That association, make sure that they have this information also. The 14.2a and 14.2c. And I'm going to read this to you. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria from whom the government, through this constitution, that has all its powers and authority. 14.2a, 14.2c. The participation by the people in the government shall be in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. That's 14.2c. These are information that when we share it, when we use it, it will result in us having the infrastructures that we need for a better quality of life across our nation. And above all, in this critical juncture where they are importing um, importing processed oil, we need to the money that they're using to pay for the senators and everything else should be instead used to fix the refineries. We need those refineries fixed. And that is what we are trying to urge you all to really join hands in sharing this message, making sure that people are aware of the powers they possess and how they can use those powers. I hope you found this beneficial. This podcast is coming to an end now. I'm going to come back later on again and talk about this issue because we need those refineries working. The oppression of our people has gone on long enough. It is time for a change. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Season Wide, the platform where we speak to the power about later on. Please do share this information. Help us grow the platform, reach more people. One more time before I go. I need you to know this. I'm going to read you off it again. I want you to know these words. Please study these words. Section 14.2a. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. Section 14.2a. 14.2c. The participation by the people in the government shall be in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. Again, 14.2c. These are powers that we possess that have been hidden from us. We need to now use that power collectively in our local government areas, begin to become active participants in our governance through holding them to account. We need to start monitoring the monthly allocation that we has allocated to each of the local government area. Where is this being spent? That is our role. I hope you found this beneficial. You are, of course, watching Citizen One, the platform where we speak to the power. When you get the broadcast, please do share, and share. Help us grow the platform. Thank you for watching. I'll be back later on. You're watching Citizen One, the platform where we speak to the power. Please do share, and share.